How to apply for both teacher and early childhood teacher registration. To begin, go to the VIT's homepage. Make sure you use a Chrome or Firefox browser because other browsers may not be compatible. Click the blue Sign In button. Select My VIT Login, then select the Sign Up option at the bottom right-hand corner. Fill in your details. Your email will be your username, so make sure it's an email address that you'll have ongoing access to. The password you enter will remain your password unless you change it. Make sure it's at least 8 characters with a minimum of 1 letter, 1 number and 1 special character. Click Sign Up. You'll receive an email with your verification code. The email may take up to 2 hours to receive. Ensure you check your junk mail folder. Enter this code to verify your new account. You can also click Resend Code if you didn't receive an email. Remember to check your junk folder if you haven't seen the email. If you realise your email address was listed wrongly, you can click Cancel to begin the process again. Now you'll see the New User Registration page. Do you have a current MyVIT account or have previously been registered with VIT? If you click Yes, you'll be asked to log in with your existing account. As a new applicant, you won't have an existing MyVIT account, so click No and Next. Fill in your details and click Next. Is the name you've listed your legal name as shown on your ID documentation? Click Yes and Next. Fill in your mobile and/or home phone number. You must provide at least one of these. Click Next. Fill in your address details. Click Next. Click Finish. This is your MyVIT homepage. Here you can see where you can apply for registration, view the status of your application and update your contact details, including your email address. Once you become registered, it will show you the details of your registration, such as your expiry date and if you have any conditions on your registration. Click Apply for Registration. This screen provides information about registration. Read it and click I have read and understood the information provided. Note that you'll need to provide supporting documentation. Click the Supporting Documentation link for information about what you'll need to provide. When you're ready to proceed, click Next. Check the registration type you're applying for. If you're not currently registered and want to register for both types, click Teacher and Early Childhood Teacher Registration. Then click Next. You'll be asked if you've accepted a teaching position in a Victorian school or early childhood service. If you click Yes, you'll be asked to complete information about your place of employment. If you click No, you'll move on to the next step. Click Next. You'll be asked if you're currently registered as a teacher in Australia or New Zealand. If you click No, click Next. You'll be asked if you've held full registration in Australia or New Zealand for the past 5 years. If you click No, then click Next. You're now about to apply for provisional registration. Click Next. This takes you to your Application for Registration page. You'll see a series of sections or modules. The ones marked Update you need to click on and complete. You've completed the first one, Registration Pathway. Qualifications. Now you need to complete the Qualifications module. Click Update. To find out what qualifications are relevant, click the hyperlink Relevant Qualifications. When you're ready to proceed, click Add Qualification. Choose your qualification type, country and state or territory. Where it asks you to choose type, choose ITE for Standalone Teaching Qualifications, ECT for Standalone Early Childhood Teaching Qualifications, or Initial Teacher Education and Early Childhood for Combined Qualifications. Click Next. Choose your provider by typing in the name. Click Next. Choose the name of your qualification. Click Next. Fill in the start date and completion date. This is the date you complete your final course requirements, not your graduation date. If you haven't completed your final course requirements, fill in your expected date of completion. Click Next. You may be asked to fill in your length of qualification in full-time equivalent years. Click Next. You may be asked to fill in your teaching area and your supervised teaching practice or professional experience days. Click Next. You may be asked to fill in the information required about your method areas and/or specialisation. If you need to choose more than one, hold the Control key and select. Based on your qualification details, provide the required evidence by uploading the relevant files. Click Next. Your qualifications will be listed on the screen. You can add or remove documents here. Click Continue. Qualifications. Here are the steps to complete the Qualifications section of an application for registration. The steps you take here will vary depending on your situation, so please take care to choose the correct options. Select the Qualifications module. Click Update. To find out about qualifications to be registered as a teacher or early childhood teacher, click the hyperlink Relevant Qualifications. When you're ready to proceed, click Add Qualification. For the purpose of this example, we're going to indicate we have ITE and EC qualifications. ITE stands for Initial Teacher Education, EC for Early Childhood. Click Next. Select the country and state where you obtained your qualifications. Click Next. Choose the provider where you obtained your qualifications. You can choose from a list in the box marked Search Accounts, where your provider's name will probably appear. But if you don't see it, tick I can't find my provider and you can free type the name in the box marked Other Provider. Choose the name of your qualification. Again, if the name doesn't appear when you type in the qualification box, tick My qualification is not listed and you can free type in the Other Qualification Name box. Click Next. Here is where you indicate the start date and the completion date of your qualification. Note, the completion date is not your graduation date or the date of your last class. Even if you have finished your last class, your course is not completed until you have received official evidence that you have completed the qualification. This is important. If you completed your qualification in the past and you've received the official evidence that you completed the qualification, that is, your evidence of completion and your official academic transcript provided by your education provider, then you can choose a date in the past. Choose the approximate date when you received your official academic transcript and type it in the box marked Completion Date. However, if you are a current student applying early or applying after you've finished your final class, but you haven't yet obtained your evidence of completion and your official academic transcript provided by your education provider, then you must tick the box marked I have not yet completed this course, and you must choose a date in the future and type it in the box marked Completion Date. If your provider has indicated a date when you will receive your evidence of completion and academic transcript, type in that date, as long as it's a date in the future. If you don't know the date, choose any date. For example, you can choose the very next day if you want, as long as it's a day in the future. VIT can then progress your application as soon as the provider contacts VIT with evidence of your completion. Click Next. Complete your student number, also, if applicable, your VTAC number. Click Next. Next, you select your teaching area and primary specialisations. You can Control-click to select multiple options. Note, this information is for statistical use. Answer it to the best of your ability, but if your answer is not 100% accurate, it won't affect the progress of your application or have any bearing on the type of registration you'll ultimately be granted. If you are entering early childhood qualifications, you'll see this screen displayed. Here is where you indicate that you hold a qualification approved or recognised by the Australian Children's Education and Care Quality Authority, or ACEQA. If you are currently completing your qualification, or if you've just graduated, you'll only need to tick the first choice, ACEQA Approved Early Childhood Teacher Qualification. If, however, you completed your qualification in the past, you may need to choose one of the other options. If you don't already know which of these options to tick, you need to stop the application here and contact ACEQA before you can proceed. Click Cancel. Then click Home at the top of the screen. And then at any point in time, go back into your application by clicking Apply for Registration. Once you have filled in your completion date, student number, teaching area and specialisations, click Next. Your qualification is marked as Submitted. Click Continue. The Qualifications module on the application page is now showing green Review status. You can proceed with the rest of your application and submit it. If you entered a completion date in the past because you have all the official evidence that you've completed your qualification, you can upload it. Most applicants will be asked for two documents: evidence of completion and academic transcript. If you have received both in the same document, you'll need to attach that same document twice, once as your evidence of completion and also as your academic transcript. In this case, if you only upload the document once, you won't be able to proceed. First, you need to select File Purpose. Select Evidence of Completion. Then you upload the relevant document. Next, you select File Purpose Academic Transcript and upload the relevant document. Some applicants will be asked to provide evidence of supervised teaching days. Some early childhood teaching applicants will be asked to provide other evidence from the list, such as a ACEQA Certificate of Equivalency for equivalent early childhood teacher. To double check that your application is ready to proceed, make sure you've chosen the correct type of registration that matches the qualification you have uploaded, and if you don't have your documentation, that you have ticked the box marked "I have not yet completed this course." Criminal record check. Click Update. Read the disclaimer and click your consent. Then click Next. Fill in your country, state and town of birth. Click Next. Proof of identity. Click Update. For more information on what is required, click on the hyperlink Confirm your identity. Click Add document. For each category of proof, you'll need to upload the relevant documents. First, select the type of document you wish to add. Then click Next. Fill in further details if required. Upload the relevant files. Click Next. Your document is now with VIT for verification. Click Finish. Once you have uploaded your files for each category of proof and clicked Finish, you'll need to click the Download the Identity Verification Form hyperlink. Complete the form. Upload it and click Next. Click Finish. You can save your application at any time. Suitability. Click Update. You'll see a series of questions. You'll need to click Yes or No and then Next. If you click Yes to any, you may be required to answer further questions and provide more detail and supporting documentation. Based on your circumstances, you may be required to complete other modules. These include Landtite, English language competence, and Overseas Criminal Record Check. Each of these requires supporting evidence, so it's best to view information available on VIT's website prior to commencing your application. When you've finished completing all the modules, click Submit. Complete the declaration page and click Next. This will take you to the payment page. You can only use Visa or MasterCard, and payment must be made in order to submit your application. The screen will display your receipt. Click Download to save it. Click Finish. The final screen has information which you should read. Your application is being processed. You can check the status of your application by clicking View Applications.